You ever look at your bank balance and think, you've got to be kidding me? Like, how is it possible to work, live, eat, breathe, and still somehow end up in red? It's not just you. Gen Z is swimming in debt before they even hit 25. And not because of bad spending habits or shopping addictions that some boomers love to say. This goes way deeper. We're talking a whole mix of rising costs, outdated financial systems, poor education around money, and social media culture that's basically designed to make young people feel broke. So let's break it down. Why is debt basically the default setting for an entire generation? Let's start with the big one, student loans. In England, if you're a uni grad from the last couple of years, chances are you're carrying over £53,000 of student debt. That's up from 48k just last year, and that's before interest does its thing. You don't even feel the debt at first. The repayments are income-based. By that number, it just sits there, quietly growing, hanging over your shoulder for years. The total student loan book in England has hit £266 billion, just sitting on the government's balance sheet, collecting dust and interest. Meanwhile, in Scotland, the average debt is lower, around £17,000, thanks to different funding systems. But for most people in England and Wales, that 50k plus is a starting point for young adults. No assets, just debt. And let's not forget those who didn't even finish their degrees. They've got debt, but no qualification to show for it. So where's their refund? And here's the kicker. Most people were told that degrees were the golden ticket. Go to uni, get a job, everything will fall into place. But now, they graduate, apply for 50 jobs that want 3 years experience for entry-level pay, and still end up in the overdrafts. And the worst part, you can't escape it. You can move cities, change jobs, delete the emails. That loan balance, still there. It's like an unwanted housemate who doesn't pay rent but eats all your food. Now on to other kinds of debt no one talks about in school. The average UK household, excluding mortgages, carries around £17,000 in debt. That includes credit cards, loans, overdrafts, even car finance. That's up 82% in just 10 years. Credit card debt alone, £2,500 on average per household. And if you zoom in on Gen Z specifically, a recent UK survey found that the average young adult carries around £5,000 in personal debt, not including student loans. Even more worrying, 13% of Gen Z owe over £10,000. So before they've even had a chance to figure life out, many are already in the hole. And this kind of debt creeps up on you. You start with a phone contract here, maybe a gym membership there, but before you know it, you've got 5 direct debits going out and nothing coming in to cover them. And let's be honest, it's not the big stuff. It's the little things too. The spontaneous takeaways, the nights out you didn't budget for, the subscription you forgot to cancel. It all adds up like stealth tax on just existing. Here's where it gets extra painful. In the US, nearly half of Gen Z say they've regularly run out of money before the end of the month. Less than a quarter to say they feel financially stable. And let's be real, the UK isn't far off. A lot of young adults are also living paycheck to paycheck. Not because they're reckless, but because everything costs so much. And wages haven't kept up. Think about it. A pack of pasta used to be 50p. Now it's £1.40. Rent's gone up. Bills are insane. And even a cheap night out somehow ends in a £37 Uber and a deep sense of regret. And then there's the emotional toll. That constant juggling. Deciding between paying your phone bill and replacing a broken laptop. It's exhausting. It's not even about poor planning. It's about having no margin for error. One unexpected cost, dentist bill, train fine, forgotten birthday, and the whole month just collapses. Okay, let's talk Klarna, Clearpay, and all those other sneaky little buy now pay later apps. What started as a convenient way to split up big purchases has turned into a massive rabbit hole. In fact, over 20% of Americans have used BNPL, and of those, nearly half have used it multiple times. Some people are even using it for groceries now. Groceries. And here's the thing. It doesn't feel like debt when you click pay £12.99 later. But when it comes in 4 or 5 separate payments, all hitting your account mid-month, it adds up fast. A lot of these platforms are making it feel like you're being clever, like you've gamed the system. But in reality, they're counting on you to forget those payments because when you do, interest, late fees, more debt. The real danger, it becomes a loop. You use BNPL because you're broke and end up more broke because of BNPL. It's like financial quicksand. Social matters meet spending pressure. Gen Z is the first generation to live online in a fully commercialized way. Social media doesn't just show people what others are doing. It shows them what they're buying all the time. Over 90% of Gen Z own a smartphone. 57% of them discover new products through YouTube, and nearly half of Gen Z women say TikTok has influenced their shopping habits. So yeah, that impulse to add to cart isn't always about needing stuff. Sometimes it's about belonging. People want to look the part, feel included, and not be the only one without trendy trainers or skincare routines with 17 steps. And because algorithms are scarily good, you're constantly being served things that feel like they were just made for you. That micro-targeting, yeah, it works. It's got people. And the worst part? Most of the people showing off all of those purchases, they're probably in debt too. It's just no one posts about their bank balance. Debt doesn't just live with your bank account. It creeps into your mental health. In a recent HSBC study, even though half of Gen Z say they were actively saving, 63% of them admit they feel judged when it comes to money. They're confused, misinformed, lacking confidence, and honestly, who wouldn't be? They were never really taught how to handle money. Like, what even is a credit score? How does tax actually work? What's the best way to budget without feeling like you're living in survival mode? Money has become this weird taboo topic. Everyone's struggling, but no one wants to admit it. So people keep quiet, smile through it, and keep spending just to keep up the image. And that shame, it eats away at your self-worth. Have you ever felt too embarrassed to talk about money with your friends? Even though you know you're probably going through the same thing? And the silence just reinforces the problem, because no one talks, no one learns, and everyone just keeps pretending everything's fine while secretly panicking about their overdraft. Let's talk about the big one, buying a home. It used to be the mark for adulthood, right? Get a job, save for a few years, get a mortgage, sorted. Now, Gen Z make up only 3% of home buyers in the US, and in the UK, that number is just as depressing. The average house deposit needed in cities like London, nearly £100,000. Meanwhile, young people are trying to save anything while juggling student loan prepayments, rent, and basic living costs. It's no surprise so many people in their 20s are still living at home. Not because they're lazy, but because the maths just doesn't add up. So instead of planning for a mortgage, most are just trying to not go in their overdraft. And it's not just houses, it's weddings, kids, travel. All of the stuff people were told that comes in your 20s and 30s now just feels delayed or impossible. So yeah, Gen Z isn't drowning in debt because they're irresponsible. They're trying to stay afloat in an economy that's stacked against them, with rising prices, stagnant wages, and a whole lot of financial pressure coming from all directions. But here's the thing, talking about it does help. It breaks the shame, it shows people that they're not alone, and it gives them the space to actually do something about it. Whether that's using budgeting apps, learning to say no on TikTok hauls, or just reaching out to someone for help, it all counts. Start small, one step at a time. Cancel that subscription you forgot about. Cook at home for a week. Talk to your mates about what's actually going on financially. You'd be surprised how many of them feel the same. And remember, you're not failing. You're navigating a system that wasn't built for you. So tell me, have you ever made a money mistake you regret? Or feel like you were drowning in debt because you didn't know where to start? Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. No judgment here. And if this hits home for you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because trust me, it's not just you.